Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, a pyrography artist, and I'm joined with hubby. He is coming. I hear him walking around in the kitchen, so he'll be here. Oh, here he comes. Run, Joey, run.
Apologies. Are we live yet?
Yes.
I may be making more trips to the bathroom.
Okay. They heard that.
What's that?
They heard that.
I know.
Oh, okay. Hey, Kathy, Spencer, Sheila, Andrea. Alrighty. So, Hubcap's here.
I'm here.
And today, well, actually, Sunday started the Lupus Awareness Month, and I decided to go ahead and step out of my comfort zone. I've talked about doing this piece for a while, so we're going to do this piece. This is very... It's a bit hard to do this piece, at least on camera. For me, myself, it'd be fine. But on camera, it's a bit hard.
I'm also outside of my comfort zone.
Why?
Well, I'm just not comfortable.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is a drawing from 2006, 2007. I did as a sketch. You're seeing the actual original where I digitally added some color later on, but that is the original, and I've kind of updated it because as we grow in art, we can do that. So this isn't a very big piece. It's just shy of 8 by 6 3/4. There we go. Let's get the tape off, and it's basswood, 1/8 of an inch thick. I've wiped down both sides, but I already had this one sanded, so I figured, why not? We'll do this one. I am heating up the 18 extra small at 2. And I think I'm going to start with the hair. That way I can really shape it. Drawing-wise, again, this was back when I took a figure drawing course. So I was in a bad place, obviously, but wanted to practice drawing. So that is where this piece came from. Alright, so the change is I lengthened the hair because this is not an exact portrait of me. I'm just going to put that out right now. This is not an exact photo of me in any way nude. This was a model that I drew off of. So we'll get that out of the way so nobody has to feel uncomfortable about that. Thank you, Sheila.
It's me.
It's you? Yes, this is you. This is before you. There was another piece. Where's my eraser? Ah, there it is. There was another piece I had started drawing that is even more emotional, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to do that. Plus, I didn't want to put a not suitable for work warning on it. So I am at 2. Let's tilt this so it'll be easier. We'll zoom you guys in a little bit more. So I titled this So Weak, So Strong because that is the anthem for me by Gov't Mule. I decided not to do a Gov't Mule piece, but I'm still incorporating that. Alrighty, so with hair, remember we don't put in every hair. We have to cut in to give some depth, but we're not going to put in every hair. In different colors, so right now I'm flat, but at times I am angling. So I can angle with my edge and cut into it. Your arm's going to move a bunch as you're doing this. And we went flow and shape to this. Now right here, it actually kind of looks shiny. So I can leave that because I have that gap. And that's how you make shiny hairs, by leaving gaps.
Well, Andrea and Sonia are here now.
Well, Andrea, so hey Sonia, Andrea was already here.
Oh, why did she say hi everyone I missed?
Because...
Oh, hi everyone I missed. Sorry, Joe Bell is here though.
Hey Joe Bell.
Joe Bell says, howdy.
Howdy. So, We're going to shape, drag, and shape. I can always add more darks to continue shaping. And she's already started.
I'll get her.
Now, I have to decide, based on the drawing, the light source is pretty much coming down the center based on the drawing. I may change that. I haven't decided. And since it's my drawing, I can do that. That's the benefit of when you do an original drawing. You can change it however you want. And like I said, this is an old drawing. Just putting up an old drawing, knowing I've grown as an artist, can be hard.
Yeah.
But.
What did you do the original one? What did you do the original one?
When?
No, when. What? What did you use?
Graphite.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's all graphite.
That's really good.
I added, when I started playing around digitally with Photoshop, I added in the background color. Because I also did a censored version of this, but I don't feel it needs to be censored for what I'm doing. So I'm not going to. I don't have to censor myself if I don't want to. But it is a bit hard putting it out there. You never know how it's going to be accepted, but I think I've got to a point in my life, based on the pain you see in the piece, of not really caring how other people think about it. Just means it doesn't speak to them, and that is totally okay. I'm sure it speaks to others.
I'll be back.
There's multiple meanings within this piece. We've got depression, which is, I was going through a very serious form of it at the time. I was also going through a ton of physical pain based on my lupus and fibromyalgia and some other stuff. Trying to think back to that time. It was not a good time. Not a good time. See, I can darken some areas and group it together more. But we start getting a bit of highlights in the hair. That's the word I'm looking for. And the more darks I put around it, the more shiny it's going to look. But again, I want to group it. I don't want to put in the drawing, even though it's graphite, you see a lot of strands in the drawing. And that just comes down to inexperience. Plus, I wasn't using a reference in regard to that. And unfortunately, I'm still not. But I can take the things I've learned over the years and apply it to this piece. If dragging. Now, I did, because I can't play this song, I'll get copyright strike for playing this song, down in the description after the live, if you want to go hear what the song sounds like that this is based off of, or named after, not based off of, because I did the piece before the song came out. I went ahead and linked it down in the description, so you can go listen to it. So I want some movement in the hair. It is hanging. Excuse me. I want some movement. And I am kind of going outside of my lines because I can. So this hair is laying underneath some of the strands that are hanging down. So I need to make sure I get that. Sorry about that. I can go back later with the 12 and do any kind of flyaways, which it will need. Just trying to quickly get this blocked in. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Sheila. She's saying that is speaking volumes to her right now. It can be hard to let your guard down, especially, and now I'm going to go back to talking about lupus, especially when you have a disease that people can't see. It's invisible because it's all, other than a few things, like you can see skin lupus, which my father has, or discord lupus is what it's called. You can see the wolf's mask, which is what lupus is based off of, the name. It's based off the butterfly and or wolf mask on one's face, especially if you've been out in the sun. It is multi-system. It's a multi-system disease. And it can take years to get a diagnosis. It took me 9 years to get an official diagnosis. But in part, that is because there's one specific test that they do, and 20% of the people with lupus show negative. And I, of course, have to be that rare 20%. And so it took 9 years of constant symptoms, flare-ups, other test results before I got my official diagnosis.
So, Sheila says the picture is speaking volumes to her right now.
Yeah.
Did you already read that?
I did.
Okay.
Well, not the whole. I didn't read it.
She says, as I know it will to others.
I
That's
hope
why I
so.
congratulate you on your choice. Joe Bell says, wow, this is looking good really fast.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm trying not to be my normal perfectionist. This is a drawing that, yes, I want to improve, but this is more about emotion than being perfect.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying for. Now,
I commend
whether I achieve that or not is a different story.
We'll see.
We shall see if I achieve that. That's what I'm going for.
So, NS Mellow Yellow says, hi all.
Hello. It's Mellow Yellow. I'm trying to think. We know that name.
It's been a while, I think.
It has. I'm sorry.
Or it's either been a while or there's a remarkably similar name.
Let's see here.
Let us know.
Let us know. See, we have our shoulder right here.
Spence says, I see my late partner in this. She was fighting so much, I didn't want people to see how vulnerable she was. I think it will be a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
And Mellow Yellow says, speaks to me as well. It's beautiful.
I appreciate that, guys. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that.
What? Oh. Well, this is very personal to you.
It is very personal. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't apologize.
I don't normally do that. I don't think I've done that
apologize.
once on camera.
That means that you're human, love.
I'm not human.
Whoa.
Whew. I did not expect that. I am so sorry, guys. Let me catch my breath for a minute and blink the eyes so I can see.
Mellow Yellow says,
Oh,
I knew,
okay.
but I watched you a few times.
Well, welcome. Sorry. Well, luckily they watched me a few times to know this isn't normal.
Stop apologizing.
Oh. I did not expect that. did not expect that. And I think that part of that is because, granted, I have come a long way in my journey. I've been dealing with this since 1998. And I do remember my first flare-up. Very much. And I was 17. And along that way, I have heard a lot of, but I can't see it, therefore it must be nothing. Well, that can't be that bad if I can't see it.
That happens a lot in
any chronic disease.
You see that a lot in the workplace, actually.
Yeah.
Because employers can be, not all of them, but they can be incredibly harsh and indifferent. And so if you aren't bleeding out your eye sockets,
Don't I know?
Then you must not be sick. You're probably faking it.
Yeah, but it wasn't just...
Well, the medical profession can be that way as well. Unfortunately, there are quite a few people who are psychosomatic and who are quite dramatic at the same time. And it rhymes. And this leads to kind of like a jaded attitude. But then underlying that all, there is a human tendency to not empathize with something that you don't have experience with. And
well, it's not just that. Doctors with egos who I have been lucky in the 2 rheumatologists that I've had who listened and worked with me as a patient-doctor team versus the arrogance of I know all.
Yep.
And I've had... trying to see where I'm going here. I'm trying to just pull in the hair. So I'm just dragging. I also have a vine that intertwines, so that's what I'm trying to pay attention as to whether I overlay the hair or if I bring the vine forward. I did not expect that.
So, well, did you hear me that Burl is here?
Mm-hmm. Hey, bro.
Okay.
Sorry. My brain
Burl
is...
is feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
I
do, too.
Carmen wants to know what the page on the rock says.
You really want to know?
You're asking me?
I'm asking if you really want to know.
I'm assuming that she really wants to know if she asked it.
That is a true statement.
Is that something you would like to share?
It's in the piece, so why would I? I just want people to be prepared for what I'm about to... It says Lost Will.
Oh.
That's all. I just wanted people to be prepared before I said it. Okay. Because that could be triggering for some people, and I'm not looking to trigger anybody.
I didn't.
But it's in the piece. So.
I didn't know that.
Oh, can you not see it? Right here?
Yeah, I see it. I always focused on the figure. To be honest, I never really noticed the page.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That be what it says. Alrighty. See, I'm trying not to lose that vine. Now that I couldn't pull it back because in the drawing I did the vines really dark. So I can get them back if I decide to go dark with them. Now, I'm looking at this because I pulled this line. I'm thinking I pulled a strand. So we'll just do that. There we go. Yep, that works. So that's what my brain was thinking when I drew in the pattern.
Okay.
That's what my brain was thinking. It was really hard trying to decide how I was going to draw things with this. Is everybody still here?
Yeah, everybody's still
Okay.
here.
Yes, I can hear.
Andrea says, I love the sharing of all of you and understand you too. Many hugs.
Oh, thank you.
Spence says, as to the page, he says, yep, totally understand that.
Well, you definitely don't have to have lupus to deal with other chronic illnesses. And when a chronic illness happens, or chronic pain, mental health is also very much involved.
Yes, that is true.
Alright, let's get rid of. And see, that's two parts of this piece. One is the physical aspect of trying to convey pain, but then it's also trying to convey the mental aspect of being in pain. Alright, I will come back to the hair later. Let's start getting the face in. And it is hard not having like an actual true reference. So I'm going to turn down to 1. Though I'm wondering, should I switch over? I'm actually going to switch over to the 18 small. Because that will have less heat. I don't have to worry about the blob so much. Because I do need to do the shading on the face. And I'm thinking it's going to be more shaded than light. Because it is kind of in the shadow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the shading right here at the arm is going to be darker. And again on the vines, I put thorns on this one. I don't know if I will keep those or not. Or at least some of them. I'm not sure. I don't know if it needs it. I just wanted it to make more sense. But not all vines have thorns, so I guess it still makes sense.
Huh. The thumbs up makes a little animation now when you do that. That's new.
What?
Well,
Undo it and do
I'll
it.
undo it. Okay, watch this.
Cool. Well, don't thumbs down to find out what it does.
Well, yeah, but yeah, all the thumbs up are appreciated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm embarrassed a little
As
bit.
your presence is here, it's
Yeah.
much appreciated. You joining us for this. Don't be embarrassed, though,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I understand it though because that is very, very personal. So
I didn't. I knew it was going to be hard. I just didn't expect.
but I think that
That.
I think that who was it that suggested a series of this?
That was Spencer.
I do think that you ought to do a series because there's other things. There's other things that affect people, and I think it is very meaningful to know that you're not alone.
And that is where I think my response came from. I know I'm not alone, but to hear people understand this on a deeper level, one, it saddens me because I don't want anybody to feel like this. But at the same time, it is hard putting it out in the world. Alrighty.
Well, that's kind of what we do as artists, I think. And there's nothing wrong with being safe as an artist because there's plenty of art that's just safe. It's harder to do things that are controversial or personal, and but sometimes it needs to be done because it's something that the world needs to hear.
Yeah. Alright, so even when I originally drew this piece, I tried to walk a balance of showing physical pain without being gory. Because that's not what I was trying to do.
Right.
So I have to figure out, because some of the scratches are the burning pain, like when you get scratched and it burns.
Mm-hmm.
And like the spine is open and exposed because that's where both my pain started and is the base of my joint pain. So I have to figure out how I want to address the actual injuries.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. And Kathy says, I love this piece. Sheila says, you're right, Jason. Oh, man, I'd love to hear that.
Don't get him used to that.
Thumbs up. It does. A series would be good. And I do too, because, when we talk about depression and a lot of different things that affects people, there's a lot in society.
Yeah. It is. Depression can really, on some level, do more damage than the physical. It really can. Alright, let's see here. How am I going to do this? Right now, got sniffy nose now. And when I drew this, I had a little bit of a support system, but not really. And I was trying to raise my boys. And don't feel I did the best job there at that time. Luckily, we've discussed that. The boys and me. Alright.
Well, you have a support system now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And that makes a difference. It makes a big difference having a healthy support system.
I agree 100%. That's life-changing.
It is.
Especially when...
Helps if you use the right pen that's on.
Oh, well. You're just doing a practice run.
Yeah, I was just testing.
Yeah. And in fact, I am always here for you.
I know that.
Valarie, that's right.
I know, Hubcap. I know. Yeah.
Spence wants to know if you're going to add any color to it.
No, I don't think so. I don't. I can't say absolutely not until it's finished, but I don't feel. I mean, I know he's talking about like the background, and that is kind of hard. But I did change the background for a more cave-like feel, and I
don't think you should.
I'm not gonna say yes or no yet until I get this all together. I think that would be the best choice.
I think
right now.
I think it
is to wait.
A sepia piece being monochromatic is important to it, because when speaking from my experience and from others that I've talked to with similar experiences, when you're in depression and you're in pain, a lot of the things that are pleasurable are kind of not accessible to you, and it seems like a lot of the color goes out of the world.
Oh, that's a good point. If I added color, though, you make a good point. If I added it, it would only be one color. Period. I would not add any more to it. But you're right on that. All right, so we have more scratches. Let's get those in here. And it's a little harder to tell how I want to finish it while the graphite's here. Yeah. It is hard to decide that. Let's see. So we have a shoulder right here that I did kind of cover up with hair. So that's going to need a bit of shadowing in order to make sense. Yeah, I have to decide because Spence saw the other piece last night that I started drawing. That one would have to be censored. See, right here, I got side boob and I got, side cheek. But, I mean,
that's
some bathing suits show more.
I was going to say, it's no worse than...
Monetization-wise, I think I'm okay. So I'm going to go dark with that.
Spence says, I like the idea of not adding color, especially if you do a series.
I have to think on that because that is a lot of emotion.
Oh.
It may take a little while to get the series done so that I have a breather, a break to allow my brain to
I do
chill out.
I think that when you create something, the feelings that you have while you're creating it kind of get transferred into the piece.
Yep.
And so and that includes all aspects of it. So if you're invested in a piece of art that you're creating,
yes,
it's going to be of higher quality, and people are going to respond to it better because they're going to feel that from it. They're going to see it instinctively, intuitively. And I think the same is true for emotion, is that you create something with deep emotion, part of that gets imbued into the piece in ways that we can't quite comprehend as humans, but our brains pick it up.
Yeah.
So I think that doing a piece like this is important because it's more than just a copy of something.
I'm going to erase as much graphite as I can get here so we can start seeing.
And that's why, Van Gogh's self-portrait with the missing ear.
Yeah.
That's why it's not just a dude with missing ear.
It's his ear.
It's his ear, and he painted that with emotion, and people respond to that. The Mona Lisa is the same way. When Leonardo painted that, he painted it with emotion. He imbued it with something a little extra, because if he didn't, it would probably just be, it might be an unimpressive painting. But I think when artists create from the heart, it does something a little extra to the piece. It's like magic.
So right now I'm trying to darken up my shadow just to help form the line of the arm. Now when I drew this, the highlights are what helped form the hand. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with that because I think I did a good choice with that. And then in order for stuff to feel rounded, we definitely need those darks bumping up against each other.
Yep.
And the lights. So right now, I'm just putting the shadow where there would be a shadow for the fingers. And then we're going to use the light to shape it. I think I need a little smaller.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Spence.
What's that?
The Spence says you can't rush this kind of piece. He believes part of your soul goes into some pieces. Some pieces, not, And that's true,
Yeah. I always try to be careful in anything I create because if I'm ticked off that day, and I'm self-censoring, if I'm ticked off that day and I start burning, you're going to feel the energy in my strokes, the choices I made, and it's just going to feel a little different.
It's true.
Compared to other pieces. So I try to be very careful. Doesn't always happen, but I do try to be careful with that. Because it's more subconscious, but other subconscious pick up on it. and maybe the piece doesn't feel right to them, or it agitates them in some way that they don't know why, because they weren't feeling like that when they first looked at it.
Yeah.
And that's because they're picking up yours.
Well, that's true. It's true. You can look at art, and that's why also, when you talk about abstract art, some people have deep emotional reactions to abstract art, but I think that has to do with the emotions that it was created with. So.
Now, on this side boob, some light will be hitting it. But not the whole thing. Because it is behind the body. Plus, when I put in the darks around here, this will lighten up, so I'm not going to stress about it. And I do feel like this needs, like, maybe a glowing background, as in lighter at the bottom towards the base that he's sitting on, and then going up to dark. So it would be more like a sunset. I think that would work here. So I'm going to keep that in mind.
Sven says everyone's so quiet.
Did I scare people away?
No, I think that they're just watching, love. Carmen wants to know if you've ever entered this piece in a contest.
No.
This is actually, I mean, it's been in public forums.
It's been on an old website of mine, but that's...
But it's not... This will be the most public that it's...
Ever been,
yeah.
Yeah. And that's why, I had talked about doing it in lives in the past. But I guess on some level didn't feel like, I didn't feel ready.
Yeah.
Because this is a lot of emotion. Now we have ribs here, so I'm going to actually... I didn't do this so much in the drawing, but I think...
Kathy says, because it's quiet, she says you're just really paying attention.
Alrighty.
Oh, I see.
Now I see I need to darken up the shadow here. And it's hard because I need to erase. But some of this, if I erase, I'm going to lose. So right now I'm flat, so I can kind of blend out the shadow.
Well, Carmen says you should enter it, but I don't know if there's any contests that we have around here that it would be appropriate for. So
I would not put it at Desert Woodcarvers show.
No, and I don't know
because it would just...
And I don't know if it would be... It needs to be, if it's going to be entered in any exhibition, it needs to be in something that's related to it.
Yeah. Or
it needs to be its own series entered into its own show.
Yeah.
I think, if you're going to do a series. Because, like, entering it into the county fair, I don't...
No, it won't go into the county. That is a size of that I'm a judge.
Yeah, I was going to say, It
is, it needs to be family friendly art.
Right.
So, no, this would not go into the county fair. It's elemental, I would do if they bring it back. It could go in that, and I think that would be okay.
Kind of forgot that we have a show to go to in
this month. Alrighty, so these are nails. So I'm just going to...
There's some big nails. There's spikes.
Yeah, they're spikes. See, that one actually is going through. But that's how it feels when your joints are burning.
Yep. Oh, I know.
I know you know. I'm glad we get a month. Though, next Tuesday I will be wearing purple because purple is for Lupus Awareness, World Lupus Awareness Day.
And I will find something purple to wear.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to wear purple with us next week. See, I needed to connect those. What I need to figure out is how to, and I didn't draw it in, to convey the pain in my hip.
Yeah.
Without, I didn't want any cuts there. And I didn't want, I need to figure out how to convey it the best. The achiness.
Bruise, maybe?
See, and I thought about bruises too. But wouldn't bruises be harder to convey not having color?
I don't know.
It just looked like a dirty patch, wouldn't it?
It's something you'd have to experiment with. Clackers Clark is here.
Hey, Marcus.
Well, good morning. This is different. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's different, all right. Yes, it is. All right, so we know the light's hitting here, so we need a darker line along the edge of the body.
Burl says, I don't have anything purple.
Oh, that's okay.
I don't know if I do either. I've got to have something. I've got to have something that's purple. I will find something.
Yeah, you don't have a purple hat, do you? Although it's getting too warm for hats now.
As I'm wearing a hat. It's cool. It's chilly today. It's windy.
Alrighty.
My feet are cold. Carmen says, how about a crooked arrow? I think in regards to the hip.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Hopefully I've been on camera.
You have been.
Okay.
I've been watching.
So the whole time I've been at 1.5 and trying, where it's darker, I've used just the tip.
You've gotten quite a ways.
I have less to worry about in regards to realism.
Does it make it easier since it's a piece that you've already done, do you think?
Well, considering up until creating the pattern, I hadn't touched this since 2006. I think probably because I have spent less time teaching, gives more time focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I didn't want this to be a teaching piece because
This is just you working.
yeah, this is just me.
That's good. I'll be right back.
I mean, we can discuss things that I'm doing, but it just didn't feel right being a teaching piece. But I do recommend that if you suffer from any pain, I don't care what it is, sometimes you just need to get it out mentally. And sitting down and sketching what you feel, and you don't have to share it with anybody, will help your brain try to deal with it better. It gives you a bit of a breather. Because your brain can be worse than the chronic pain itself. It can be mean. Trying to shape the arm here with shadow. But I did do this one smaller in order to make sure by the end of the month it is done. Let's back out a little bit. Now when I go to do a dark background, it is going to really lighten up. So I'll have to go back and adjust the shadows within this. But she's starting to see. I'm trying to see on camera. How close are we on color? I think it needs to go maybe a little brighter. And maybe a little less. Let's see if that's a little closer. Ah! Hello. Hello. That snake looks more like a duck. What snake? What are we talking about? This snake. What? Huh? Arrow. Or a snake biting you on the thigh. Oh. No, I don't want any snakes in here. I guess the vines can kind of replicate snakes in a way. But that's the grabbing and pulling, both mentally and physically. Now I just bumped up to 2. Just so. But why don't we go ahead? I'm gonna put the vine in on the arm. I'm gonna go ahead and bump up just below 3. Because I think I need to leave some gap in order to leave a highlight. So I'm just using the tip. And I'm not going to worry about thorns. Now that this is more flat, so that I can get a little bit. We're just going to go longer with this. I'm using the tip just to kind of bring it up just a little bit, the darkness. When it comes around from the body, it's going to be fully dark. And then there's going to be a little bit of light in the middle. I could use a ball tip with this, but kind of don't want to keep switching back and forth, so I will stick. So let's get here. Looks like I need to go darker for some reason.
Than peanut butter.
Ah.
But they've already finished it. Very frustrating.
This is much darker than it's showing on camera. I'm trying to think how to. Maybe that'll work. Alright.
I'm assuming you've read.
My brain is always my worst enemy.
You got some suggestions for the snake lightning bolt.
This is curving under the arm, so again it's going to be dark, and then it's going to have some light. And the same thing will happen with the chain links for the ball and chain. Alright, so dark here, dark here. But this also shows that I'm going to have to have more darks in the hair. But for now. There we go. See, I've got a little. I think at the base of the vine I can keep some of the thorns. I'm using just the tip to darken up smaller areas. Let's see here. There we go. Using just the tip, just trying to darken that up just a little bit. Kind of blend it out because that went really dark. I'm okay with that. Go back and adjust that. But now, I see how dark that is. I can darken up this back part of the arm, which is the bicep with the elbow coming over. Now that I see those darks, I can adjust a bit of these. And I'm trying to use just the tip right up against the line. I'm going to go flat, and yes, I'm using ovals just to darken this up a bit. You know, I didn't prepare with a bunch of lupus facts, but I wonder if I should get some for next week in order to better ensure that I give proper information. Alright, let's do some erasing. Let's see here, where do I want? I'm going to stick up here. Because I do still need some shading in the hand. So I don't want to fully lose it. And then in order to take care of the face so that I don't lose it, but I need... So I said this is going to be lighter here and go darker. I'm going to put some burning in around the face. I am not going to go the full dark because I don't know how dark it's going to need to be in this area. So I'm wiping off my pen.
Spence says it's looking awesome.
Oh, thank you. And this is so I don't have to outline. I don't lose my areas. So now I'm looking at the shoulder. I need to go darker right here. I'm pretty sure this area is going to go even darker. So I'm not going to stress about it.
Okay.
I just need to get some shading in here so I don't lose it. But it's a good base to get started with it. Don't want to lose the nose. Alright. So, let's see. Let me get the face right. The face is so small in the scheme of things.
Yeah, there's not much of it showing. I think that's important, though, because then...
I wanted it to... Anybody looking at it, if they felt this way, would understand.
Yeah, I think it's relatable. Carmen says it's amazing how fast it's coming together.
Thank you.
Looks so good.
Alrighty, so we didn't lose the face. We've got... Yeah. This is what happens when we erase the graphite. We can still see the elbow without having to outline it.
Yep.
But I do feel and flat right now. I did lower my temperature.
To what?
Just under 2.
And you're when you lower temperature like that, you're just making an adjustment based on how it's working currently and your experience.
Yeah.
So that's just your experience coming into play. You knew you needed a little bit less.
Yes.
So okay. Sometimes there's a lot we do in art that's instinctive and based on experience, and sometimes it's a little hard to explain, you know, because we're not painting by numbers, you know. Kathy says, I sure hope this piece continues next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I want to get this finished by the end of May. Let's see here. I am going, when I find it, so we know. See, it's hard getting a correct perspective on the forehead and nose shape.
Yeah.
Because it is such an odd perspective.
I think as long as it reads.
And that's why I'm just trying to get the reading right. I may have to scratch out a little bit on the nose, but just to make sure it works, but I'm not going to stress about it. Not going to do it. Not going to stress. And then real quick, this is where the highlight on the hand to shape the fingers is.
I'll be back.
Well, we're going to start wrapping things up.
Do you want me to give her or?
Yeah. Well, we just wrap it up.
Okay.
See if we got any more questions. So next week we will continue working on her. Don't know what area. We'll get there. Not gonna stress about it. That's part of the reason for this piece. I think this is a reminder for me.
Well,
on some level.
Appreciate you guys being here with us.
Oh, absolutely.
And, please remember to drop a like. That always helps us out. But,
yes, it does.
And for all of you that are here, and especially for those of you that keep coming back, we really appreciate you. And thank you very much for taking your time out of your day.
We love you.
Very much.
We love you.
Very much.
Yeah.
Spence says thanks. It was an awesome live.
Oh, thank you. Sorry I didn't explain a whole lot. Sometimes you just gotta do. Maybe that's the explanation for the live. Sometimes you just have to do it versus talking about it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't know.
Well, Melio says thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Sonia says great class. Thanks. Kathy says thumbs up. Clarkers Clarks has been watching more of your vids since getting Optima, but boy, you you make everything look easy.
Well.
Goodness, are you okay?
I breathed wrong.
So Carmen says, reminder for you, informative for us. Thank you.
Thank you. You know what? It's time to say it with me. You're awesome.
Say it with me.
You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist. Happy burning, guys. Bye. You're silly.
That's my job.